Okay, so in a previous video I showed you how you could import OpenStreetMap data into your Blender scene using Blender GIS, and in this video I wanted to show you how you can use the image texture that comes with the terrain and map that onto the roofs of the buildings. Okay, so first we need to select all of the roofs. So I'm going to go in, select my building objects, I'm going to press tab to go into edit mode, and then I'm going to press 3 to go into phase select mode, and I'm just going to select one of the roofs, and then I'm going to go to select similar, and then choose normal, and that's going to select all the faces that have the same normal orientation, which is, I think, all of them. Now we need to add some materials. So in the material editor, I'm going to add 2 slots. And in the first, I'm just going to add the default material. And in the second, I'm going to add a material called roof. And then I'm going to press assign. And that's going to take my selection and apply it all to that roof material. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to give these roof faces a UV map. So if you go to top view by pressing 7 on the number pad, or by pressing the top view on the little widget here, you can go into top view, and then if you press U and then project from view, this will project the faces as your UV map. And I recommend choosing this option, scale to bounds, because it will help to constrain the UV islands. So next I'm going to split my space in 2. And in this half, I'm going to choose the UV editor. So this is a 2D projection of those roofs. And I'm going to go to this little drop down menu here and choose the image GoogleSat WM. And you can see that the islands are roughly matched to where they should be in the UV editor, but they're kind of a little bit off. So the way to fix this is, with all of your islands selected, press G to grab them and move them so that some of the islands are in the right place. And then what I would do is I would go to 2D cursor mode, shift right click, set your 2D cursor on the area that you're happy with, and then go somewhere else and see if it's still correct. So I'm going to go all the way over to the other side of the map. And then I can see here that this needs to be scaled out a little bit from where that 2D cursor was. I'm just pressing S to scale. You may also have to rotate. Now I can see that this building is lined up here. These ones look lined up. So I think I'm probably in a pretty good configuration. So now we also have to make some material nodes. So I'm going to change the UV editor to the shader editor, and then in here I'm going to press Shift A to add a new image texture node. I'm going to put that in there, and then I'm going to go to this drop down and I'm going to choose the GoogleSat WM image, and I'm going to connect the color to the color channel of the principled BSDF, and you can see that the material updates. And now if we go over here to the look dev mode or textured mode, we should see that the texture is being used on the tops of the buildings. Yeah, there it is. So now I'm using my texture not only on the terrain but also on the buildings themselves. So we can even go to Eevee mode, we can add a sunlight, and then if we go to the shadow properties and go to cascaded shadow map, we can change the max shadow distance to something like 5,000, and then we have a way of applying sunlight to our buildings as well. So you might also want to select your buildings, go to the base material that we created previously and change the color of that as well. So you might want to choose like a 50% gray so that it blends a little bit more with the landscape and the image texture. But yeah, that's basically how you apply an image texture to your OSM buildings.